welcome to today's Vehicle Visionary. Today I'm going to introduce you to the all-new 2019 Honda Passport. This vehicle is not even 24 hours off the lot. It's literally brand new, and I can't wait to tell you all about it. So stay tuned for today's Vehicle Visionary. The 2019 Passport is completely redesigned. It actually hasn't been available for several years. And let me just show you some of the incredible features on the front of the Passport. Starting with the headlights. Nice and sleek looking. The body lines are actually contoured back to where it almost looks like the air would just flow across the front of the vehicle onto the side. The honeycomb grille looks absolutely incredible, especially on this particular model. It's black, it matches the black color, the Honda logo, of course, right here, right in the middle. Everything just fits together. The front bumper looks nice. The hood, I like the shape of the hood. It's not too much, but it actually has some little indentions on the side here, so it's just not completely flat. Gives it a little bit of a nice contoured look. And so the front end redesign, I think, is really nice on the 2019 Passport. Let's take a look at the side and I'll show you what's changed there. We're going to start right here with the 20-inch wheels. Actually, the 20-inch rims are standard on all of the Passports, but the EXL actually does have some features that I'm going to show you on the interior that you won't get on the other models. Of course, you have the nice fender flares, and notice that the fender flare goes right into the body side molding right here that runs the side of the vehicle. That's a nice touch. Marker lights, blinkers in the mirror, and it's really a pretty clean side of the vehicle. There's no badging or anything like that, but I think that actually makes this particular model look really nice. Normally you would have a badge right here, a logo or something like that, maybe the EXL or something like that. But I think that's really nice to have that clean look, kind of a clean line across the entire side of the vehicle. Okay, here on the back of the Passport, the taillights, they're nice and large. They actually mold into the side of the body right here. That's going to give you a lot of light for people that are all around you. I think that's actually very important, not just behind you, but next to you. In fact, if you're driving and somebody maybe doesn't know you're next to them, they might actually see that at night. Wouldn't help during the day, but I think that extra light is actually very helpful right there. You also have reflectors on the bottom right above the dual exhaust, and we're going to talk about the motor in just a minute. This thing actually makes a lot of power and torque for what it is, and I think we're going to find out that that's going to make for an enjoyable and fun ride when we take it out on the road in just a little bit. Now, on the liftgate here, it's all electronic. We'll let that actually open up. There's several different features in the interior I'm going to show you, but the first thing I'm going to show you is right up here. There's a button right here that you can push, and the tailgate, or the liftgate I should say, will go right back down, right back into its place. Really simple, really easy. You also have the windshield wiper on the back window. That's always very helpful, especially when you have this kind of slope. That's more likely to get dirty. There is actually a little spoiler up here. I think that gives it just kind of the perfect look. The spoiler with another brake light right here, so you have the two brake lights down here, plus the brake light right up here. The spoiler, the antenna's right above that. Everything just really kind of molds and fits together. I really like the lines of the 2019 Honda Passport. Okay, first of all, I want to start out with the storage down here. There's quite a bit down here. All you have to do to access the storage, I'm actually sitting on the storage compartment right here, but you just lift up and then you can pull up the cover of the storage compartment. You can kind of see what fits in there based on what's in there right now. There's also two buttons on each side of the interior back here under the hatchback basically, and these actually are for the seats. If you need a little extra storage space, say you went to the store and you picked up some lumber or something that's large and long and you need extra seat space, or extra storage space I should say, you push each one of these buttons individually and it automatically folds the seats down. Now you can't push the buttons a second time to get the seats to come back up. You'll have to do that manually, but that's okay, not a big deal. There's also some tie downs right here on each side in front of two more nice deep storage compartments that you can store whatever you need to in there. Quite a bit of space, and also there's a nice bit of space in the back seat. Let's take a look. Welcome to the back seat of the 2019 Passport. There's actually a good bit of space back here. As you can see, the seat in front of me, the passenger side, is actually reclined back quite a bit, and me being at 5'10", you can see I still fit in here pretty well. I probably wouldn't want to make a long trip that way, but the passenger could easily move up a little bit or change their seating position, and you're going to have plenty of leg room back here. You have basically the standard pockets in the back of the seats. There are some air conditioning vents on the back of the console and some storage right underneath that. Now you can't control the climate back here. That has to be controlled from the front, but you can control the direction of the vents and if they're open or closed back here. Okay, we're going to start off with our interior review, and there's a lot here, but it's very simple to navigate. Got a nice infotainment system here. Everything is just easily controlled right here, or you can control it on the screen as you want to. Everything is just so simple. You can go into your settings, you have Apple CarPlay, everything that you're probably used to on these vehicles you have. Time is displayed right there in the top right hand corner. Very simple. And going down here, this is all push button. There is no shifter or anything like that. So you have, of course, park, you've got neutral, you've got drive and sport modes. I'll show you that change in just a second. You have traction control on or off, and you also have snow mode, something we probably won't need here in Louisiana. But let me show you what happens here when you push snow mode. So you have normal, it's in snow right now. You can push the button again, it'll go back to normal mode. And since the steering wheel actually does have paddle shifters, that's going to be kind of interesting to try out on our test drive in just a minute. All you have to do to go into sport mode is first you're going to push the D/S button. That puts you into drive, and then there you see it changed from D to S. Now it is in sport mode. You could actually use the paddle shifters as well. Very easy to use, very easy to read everything on the instrument cluster. It's nice and it's digital. It looks modern. You've got your fuel, you've got your speed, you've got everything you need to know. That's over on the left hand side. That is the temperature of the engine. Speaking of that, the engine makes 280 horsepower and 262 foot-pounds of torque, so it's actually a very peppy little vehicle. Of course, you have everything that's just simple and common on a modern day vehicle. You can adjust volume, you can adjust really anything you need to. You can answer your phone, you can scare people with the horn. That's my niece, my nephew and my niece-in-law. It's their vehicle. Thanks for letting me use this, Austin in Maryland. Of course, headlights, everything over here is real easy, real self-explanatory. You've got the blinkers, of course, on the left-hand side. You control the windshield wipers and everything on the right-hand side. And of course, you do have your common window controls for the automatic power windows, power door locks, and you actually have two separate settings for seat memory. That is a nice feature as well. Okay, so here we go. Before we go any further, I want to show you all, here's the rear view camera. That is a feature that I have to make sure to point out. Of course, by the year 2020, all vehicles are going to be required to have the rear view cameras like that, but I like the way this one is laid out because it gives you a nice diagram of what's behind you. In fact, let's see, yep, as you turn the steering wheel, it actually turns with you. And so, see that? I'm turning the steering wheel back to the left, and it's pointing to the left. So that is a really nice feature. So we're going to get on the road here. We're going to put it in sport mode. We're going to go down the road and see how this thing handles. This is going to be a lot of fun. I'm in a little bit of a tight space here, but I can tell by the way this is working just in this little area that the turning radius is really good. Now, one thing that I will say, if you're in reverse and you had it in sport mode and you go back to drive, you're going to have to hit the drive/sport button or D/S twice to get it back to sport. It's not going to just automatically go back just because that's where you've had it set before. So, off we go. We're going to cruise on down the road. I'm going to move that armrest up a little bit. That's another thing. The driver and the passenger seats do have armrests on the inside of the seat, which is nice. Alright, so here we go. We're going to cruise down the road here a little bit. It does have an auto dimming mirror, rear view mirror. That's always very helpful. Nice acceleration. I'm just kind of cruising right now. The steering feels nice and tight. It's not uncomfortable. It's not too tight. It's not loose. It doesn't seem like this vehicle would have a lot of body roll necessarily. We'll take it down the road and find out. The brakes are effective, but I can tell since I haven't driven this vehicle before, the brakes aren't so powerful that you're going to necessarily, you know, brake check your passengers or even yourself while you're driving. I think that's always a plus on a new vehicle when you just took it off the lot and you're driving it. So yeah, I think that's a good thing. There are a couple of cup holders here in the center console, as well as a very large, I mean, I can get way down in there in that storage compartment in the center console, and you can also actually close that as well if you want to. So here we go. We're going to cruise on down the road. You can hear the engine, but the road noise is actually very minimum. That is a really good selling point on the Passport, I believe. It accelerates nicely. Again, I am in sport mode, so let's see here. Let's downshift. The shifting isn't very pronounced. I have to say, if you're using the paddle shifters, it's not super duper responsive. It does take just a quick amount of time, but it's not instant for the paddle shifters to respond. But you know, this isn't really meant to be a high performance vehicle, so that's okay. And if for some reason you miss the shift, if you forget that you put it in sport mode, it's going to get to a certain RPM and the computer is going to automatically shift it for you anyway. So you're really in good shape regardless, but if you just want to have a little bit of fun, and let's downshift it again. You can feel it downshifting, but it doesn't necessarily feel like you're upshifting very much. But that's okay. Again, this is really not meant to be a high-performance vehicle. It just happens that I'm a high-performance person, so I always have to see how it does. But I'll tell you what, if you're in a big city with a lot of traffic and you need to get up to highway speed or a little bit above to merge into traffic, you are not going to have any problems at all doing that with the 2019 Passport. We're going to make a little turn here real quick and go back. Give me a chance to kind of try out the turning ability here, even though I'm not really going through a turn, so to speak. Let's just see how the body roll is. Actually, it's very, very minimal. That's really good for a vehicle like this. Yeah, overall, I have to say the acceleration and driving the Passport is a really good experience. It runs well, it drives well. I mean, we're on a fairly rough road here actually, and I have to say, this vehicle, for being an SUV, rides extraordinarily well. Like to get around 18-wheelers quickly, so a nice little acceleration test there. Yeah, I'm actually very impressed. I haven't driven an SUV like this in quite a long time. I'm going to put it back into just drive and see how it does. Take it out of sport mode. Obviously, we don't have any snow, so I can't put it in snow mode and tell you how that works. But if you live in a place where it snows a lot, it's nice to know that you have that option. It's going to help everything to work better. It's going to minimize slip, give you better traction. That's nice peace of mind if you live in an area where you're going to get snow and ice to deal with. We rarely get that here in Northwest Louisiana. Really impressed. Very smooth. And again, I can't make this point enough. My nephew and what I like to call my niece-in-law, this is their brand new vehicle, and they bought it because they're about to have their first child. And if you're going to have something in a perfect situation like this, your very first vehicle when you're starting a family, having such minimal road noise is a big plus. I give Honda a thumbs up for really almost eliminating road noise in this vehicle. It's almost unnoticeable. Now I do want to show a couple of things here. This is actually lane correction right here. So this will help you kind of almost get into an autopilot situation. Not completely, but it's going to help you to stay in your lane. There's also sensors for parking, for basically if you need to hit the brakes and you're not paying attention, it's going to give you a warning for that. We probably could have done that out on the road, but I'm not going to do that in this video. But there's a lot of really nice safety features here. All the common side curtain airbags. Of course, you have the front driver and passenger airbags. All the common stuff you would expect to have in this day and age. And also blind spot indicators. You have that on the driver's side and on the passenger side. All right, guys, this is my niece-in-law, because she's married to my nephew. That's my niece-in-law. And she's going to show you how you add shade to the back seat. They're about to have their first child, and when they have him or her in the back seat, if they need some added shade, this is what they'll do. And that's actually available on the passenger and driver's side. Nice little touch. One more thing I want to show you on the interior before we end our video here. You can open the rear lift gate right here, and this is how you open the gas door. And just so you know, there's actually no gas cap. You just stick the gas nozzle right in and pump your gas. All right, guys, that ends our tour of the 2019 Honda Passport. Now, I do want to tell you, this model starts at $34,000. That is the sticker for what you get for this particular model. But it's a really nice vehicle, as you see. I think it's worth the money. It's pretty economical for our day and age to have this many bells and whistles. It's not necessarily the top of the line. It's about mid-range there, something like that. I don't have all the models memorized, but I'll put them on the screen so you know what they are. But overall, if you're looking for a nice mid-size SUV for your family, for your business, the Honda Passport is an excellent option. So I want to thank you for taking the time to watch today's Vehicle Visionary. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the like button. If you didn't enjoy the video, make sure to hit the dislike button 2 times. Leave me a comment, let me know that you were here, and make sure to subscribe. See you next time on Vehicle Visionary.
Helps me, and if you liked anything about this car, be sure to donate $20 to my Patreon, and be sure to drop some dank memes in my DMs. Peace.